Some of you OCD people came to me before service and they were like, okay, these aren't straight. What are they on the floor for? You know, somebody just forget to pick this up. We just did it to make a point that we are all making life tracks. And sometimes we live life for a certain season or certain moments as if we're not making a track. But you can be assured that every decision you make, every conversation you have, every word that comes out of your mouth, every life decision, every relationship, you're leaving a track in your life. Now, we all have a belief system, and our daily steps are based on that belief system. Someone is following your tracks. I want to ask you a question. Where are you leading them? I can promise you somebody is following in your tracks. See, there are certain tracks that are laid in our life even before we're born. By the gene pool we're birthed into, the parents, the extended family. There's a history you're born into. It can be a generational blessing or a generational curse. So you have to learn early on in life, what's causing me to take certain paths in life? So whose steps did you follow in that took you to the wrong place? Okay, see, because there's positive influences and negative influences in our lives. Everybody in life is an influencer. Everybody. And you are influencing somebody to the positive or to the negative on a daily basis. Doing what's right is often one of the biggest life challenges we face every day. Here's some phrases we've heard. Well, you need to practice what you preach. You ever heard that one? You heard this one. Actions speak louder than words. I'm going to just tell you, talk in my life is cheap. Talk is cheap. You need to roll your sleeves up and do life with me. You need to, if you're going to be my spouse, you need to celebrate me. See, this is for another message, but sir, if you're the king of your house is out of order. She should be the queen of the house. Ma'am, he should be the king of your house. See, sometimes we get it out of kilter. So we've heard the phrase, talk is cheap. We've heard the phrase, show me. There's a song title, a little less talk and a lot more action. We all have moments when our behavior in life is out of sync with our belief system. Because basically, if we did a personal interview, all of us have a pretty decent belief system in life. We're all pretty moral, hopefully. There are a few perverts out there. And they're sometimes in church clothing. Church ain't all for saints, baby. So watch your purse, watch your life, watch your kids. We have security in the house for a reason. We want some perverts to come in every now and then. They need to be saved. We want some messed up folks every now and then, you know. It's not a country club for the healthy and wealthy. It's a hospital. So most of our moments in life when we're out of sync, they're unintentional moments to be out of sync. Because we don't get up, we won't get up tomorrow and say, okay, today I'm going to declare that I'm going to walk out of sync with God. You've probably never had one of those days where you just verbalized it and we just said, today I'm not going to walk the talk. Today I'm just going to be a jerk. Today I'm just going to do exactly what I want to do, how I want to do, hurt who I want to, and say what I want to. Now that goes against our belief system. We won't get up tomorrow. I didn't get up today and say, today I'm going to leave life tracks that are damaging and disparaging for somebody's life. But if life were easy, it wouldn't be called a challenge. See, all of us can improve a little bit or a lot as a parent, spouse, friend, partner, citizen, employee, or leader. Let's look at 3 points. First one, you are what you do. Plain and simple. You can say one thing, but whatever you do is what you are. You could talk a good game, but if you can't deliver, then you are what you deliver. John 10:27 says, my sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me. See, unfortunately in life for us, there are no timeouts. Would it not just be really, really cool that in the game of life, just like in a football game, basketball game, we could just call a halt to the clock. Time out. I just need 5 years without you. Time out. I'd like to have 5 hours without you in my life. Now, young mothers, you probably need a timeout every now and then. But there are no timeouts. God doesn't stop the clock of our life and say, okay, you're off the clock now, and you can do whatever you need to do and respond however you need to respond, because your own timeout won't count against you. So we don't get timeouts. We don't get do-overs in life. Now, you can have a failed marriage and do another one. You can have another failed marriage and do another one. But you need to go online and look at the stats. Even for Christians, baby, about half the marriages end in divorce for people who go to the cross of Calvary and call him Christ. So if we can't keep it together with him, then how does everybody else keep it together? But I submit to you, there are some stars in Hollywood who've been married 35 and 40 years. When some preachers can't keep their act together. I'm like, that's another whole message. That's my pet peeve. So we don't get do-overs. We can't just cross our fingers behind our back and make life go away. You don't get a mulligan. Any golfers in the house? What's a mulligan? It's a do-over. It's when you do an illegal shot and you get to make it legal. So you don't get a mulligan. See, everything we do matters. We cannot claim that something we did not count. Integrity is not a 99% thing. You either have it or you don't. So when is it the right time to fudge on your expense report or timesheet? When is it ever right to deliver a racial slur out of your mouth? When is it ever right to disrespect others? When is it ever right to keep the extra change that was mistakenly given to you? See, I was raised in a crazy family. I've seen my mother go back into a store and say, you didn't charge me for this milk. She didn't walk out and say, well, bless God. God just blessed me today. No, God didn't bless you. Somebody will get in trouble for not having the right in their cash register. That's not God. He didn't bless you. You want his blessings, you go back in and pay for your milk. And pay for someone else who's in line behind you. That's how you get his blessings. So, you are what you do. Character is the key. We need a perspective change. We hear these phrases a lot. They should do better. Well, who is they? That's their problem. They need to do something about this. Now see, you came in church today and there's back there somewhere in this middle section, there's a trash can and a little thing because there was some water leaking where they are having the AC and heat fixed in the church. They are putting a new unit on the roof in a few hours. They did some roof work this week. They didn't get it all finished. So they have a leak in the church today. So you could come here and say, well, they need to get that fixed. They need to pick up the trash. It's all because of them. They're the ones who foul things up. Let's do a perspective change. Let's change it into we need to do something about this. That's our problem. It's up to us. We need to do what's right. So there are some exercises. How many of you love to exercise? If you love to exercise, get on your feet. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 10, 12. It's not the majority, so sit down. The other folks feel bad. There are some exercises to avoid if you want to build a strong character. You need to avoid jumping to conclusions. We can mess up more stuff by jumping to wrong conclusions without having all the facts. People change their whole life because they jumped to a conclusion that was nowhere near the truth. So I could jump to a wrong conclusion about you this morning, or you can about me. And it may not be fact. We need to stop passing the buck. Well, it's their fault. I don't know. Not me. Sure, it was them. They. Who is they? Turn to your neighbor and say, who